Okay, we're out here at the Detroit Diesel stand and I'm here with Terry Bistou. And Terry, let's talk about Detroit. Mate, obviously you've been with the company for quite a while, and over here in Australia, how long have you been with the company? How long have you been in Australia?
Well, I've been with Detroit Diesel for 38 years. I worked there when it was General Motors. I worked there when it was Penske, Daimler Chrysler, Daimler, and now DTNA. Detroit Diesel Australia used to be called MTU, Detroit Diesel Australia, but they have recently been purchased by Penske Commercial Vehicles. So the name has changed to more properly reflect the fact that they service both brands. So it's called Penske Power Systems now. So they have an off-highway side and an on-highway side. I represent the factory connection to the on-highway side, and our plant builds the DD15s and the DD13s that we sell here in Australia. I've had the job of Global Export Product Support Manager for DTNA for the last 8 years. So I've been coming over here now for 8 years. This will be my 4th Brisbane Truck Show. And every time I come, I start seeing a lot more people that I know from coming to come to the factory and see us. And we have a lot of tours, and you know, it's a good thing. But the product right now, I think we're at a very, very good place with the product. This show today, what we're trying to emphasize here today is cost of ownership, reliability. We have an engine here that I purchased back from a customer running out west. He was running triples at about 140 ton. So in the 30-month life of this engine, he went through 705,000 liters of fuel. That's a lot of diesel fuel to be burned. But one of the reasons I picked this engine from the customer was the fact that I knew he had meticulous maintenance, which is key to having your product live. I don't care how good of a product, if you don't take care of it, it's not going to live. So we have a complete maintenance history. So we've got the engine, pulled the engine out of the truck, then ran it on a dyno and checked its performance and compared that to when it left the factory. The engine ran about 15 horsepower higher when we pulled it out than when we put it in.
Crazy.
So that just goes to show you the quality of the engine. So this video behind me over here kind of demonstrates as the truck drives into the shop and they pull the engine out of it, then we completely tore the engine down. Some of the hardware was sent back to the factory in Detroit and put into my measurement room so we can actually measure how many microns are worn off the piston rings, how much is worn out of the liners, out of the connecting rod bearings, so in the valves. We want to see exactly how much it's worn, because in the U.S., this engine we built 350,000 DD15s are on the road. We haven't figured out yet when one wears out. and I've got customers here going, well, at what point in the life do I need to do something? And I'm standing there going, we haven't hit there yet. So I thought it would be a good thing to purchase back an engine from a customer. Let's take it apart and see what it looks like. If I didn't know this history of this engine and somebody had this engine neatly laid out and I walked up, I'd look at it and I'd have to go, why'd you take this thing apart? There's nothing wrong with this engine. This engine could easily go another 5,000 hours probably. I don't know. And that's the whole thing that we're trying to talk about here. But due to that, I mean, Detroit Diesel, we have the longest oil drain. We can go up to 60,000 kilometer oil drain intervals using an approved oil on our premium oil list and having the right duty cycle for it. Okay. So that reduced cost of ownership, fuel economy, cost of ownership. I mean, you know, all this kind of stuff. I mean, you do tune-ups once every 500,000 kilometers. No one else can do that. And the key to the DD15 success is the fact that all engine manufacturers, including ourselves with a Series 60, you had 20, 25-year-old engine technology that you hung pieces onto it and did this and that to get to the emission levels. This engine was designed on a piece of paper and built with 2014 emission standards in mind.
Okay.
Currently in the United States, we sell what is called GHG 16 emission level. We're 1 year ahead of the program for emission requirements, and that's what we sell right now.
Okay.
So our engines are far and above. In the United States, 90% of the DTNA, that would be the Freightliner Western Star brands, 90% of the trucks that come off the assembly line have a Detroit diesel engine in them. 52% of every truck that is sold every day is a Daimler truck. So we are the premium brand of the United States, and we're trying to get the word here. And I mean, the volumes are much lower. We build 400 engines a day right now. Every 2 minutes, 3 seconds, a completed engine comes off the end of the assembly line. It's amazing. And the quality is there, and just we do this, and every customer that's come up to me just says to me, "Here, I love my engine. It runs well. Yeah, you might have had some issues in early production, but you know what? You came and you fixed them." We have driver and owner testimonials. You can see some of them around. We're going to be putting some of them out, but my favorite one I heard last week from a customer, he says, "I stand behind Detroit because Detroit stood behind me." And I loved it. I thought that was really, really good.
Gives you a good feeling, mate. Gives you a good feeling.
It does. It does. I mean, because the gentleman, I'm not going to say his name. He'll know who I'm talking about. He's been known to holler at me in the past. And when, he found out I was in country, "I need to see Terry." And I go, "Oh boy." And he sent me down and says, "I got to look you square in the eye to say this." And I'm like, I'm cringing. And I thought he was going to holler at me. And he just said, "Thank you." And it's a good feeling to know that our product is getting there. And I mean, we have the best product out there, and we really are trying to show the world here, Australian world, how good this engine is.
Excellent. All right, Terry. Well, look, hey, thanks for sharing that with us here at oztruckintv and giving us your time, and Detroit as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
The only home I've ever known. And I can feel the next stretch of blacktop calling me.